Hey everyone! In this quick video, I want to share a really useful and common way of protecting content with MemberPress tags and categories. When in the MemberPress plugin, once you have content that you want to paywall on your WordPress website, like a blog post, an ebook, course, anything really, you create what's called a rule in MemberPress to protect the content to only be accessible to users that you choose. Oftentimes, that's going to be site members on your website who purchase memberships. So you do that by going to MemberPress here in the left sidebar, and Rules, and then create a new rule. And then select a rule type in the dropdown. So the rule type selects what type of content on your site you're going to be protecting. So it could be a single course, a lesson within a MemberPress course, a page, a post, etc. And then you would just select the specific piece of content that you actually want to paywall here, in this field. And then down here, you'll choose exactly who gets to access that content. So here, only users with an active subscription to my Pro membership will be able to view this page. Anyone else with any other membership on my website or logged out site visitors won't be able to see the page, and they'll instead see my paywall message, which in MemberPress is called the unauthorized access message. So that tells them that they don't have access to the page. Now with MemberPress, you have a ton of rule types that you can choose from, which gives you complete flexibility to target exactly what content areas of your website that you want to lock down. So one method of content protection that I want to go over in this video is using tags and categories within WordPress to protect multiple pieces of content together. This can make your life a lot easier by protecting multiple or many pieces of content all at one time with just one rule, which can also reduce clutter on the back end of your website. So you can really keep things simple for you in the plugin by not having to create an unneeded number of rules. Using tags and categories can also sort of future-proof your website too. So as your site grows and you add more content, new content will automatically be protected with existing rules. Now, tags and categories are built-in tools in WordPress that let you sort of group content together. I'm not going to go too far in depth in explaining what tags and categories are themselves, but WordPress has some good learning resources you can check out, and I'll link to some of those pages in the description of this video. Also, check out wpbeginner.com, which is a great resource to learn more in-depth information about WordPress. And they got some really good posts about tags and categories to check out too. And I'll link those below in the video. But just to illustrate this for the purposes of MemberPress, let's say that I have 5 posts on my website. So if I go to Posts here in the left sidebar, I want these 5 posts here to be paid blog posts on my website. So only people with a membership to my site will be able to see them. So for the purposes of this video, I'll apply either a tag or a category to all these posts, and then use that tag or category to protect them. So if I go to MemberPress and Rules here in a new tab, and then go to create a new rule, here in the dropdown, you see some rule types that we can use to protect posts. I can protect all posts on my website, meaning every single post that I have, a single post, meaning just one post that you select, or you see posts categorized and post tagged. So we'll be using the post categorized rule type. So going back to my actual blog posts, all I need to do is apply a category, which I'll create, to these 5 posts. So I'll go ahead and open up my first post to edit it. And here on the right, you see these sections for categories and tags. So here I can apply an existing tag or category that I already have on my website, or create a new one. So right here, I'll create a new category called Paid Post and apply it right here. So it created this category and applied it to this blog post. So now I'll just save the post itself. And then I would just go back into my other 4 blog posts and apply that same category to it. So to show you real quick, opening up my second post, I would come down here to Category and just click that Paid Post category that I created and apply it, and then save the post. Also, generally, you would plan out your content protection strategy prior to putting all your content on your website. So in my case, if I have 5, 10, or even more posts, I wouldn't have to come back in here and manually apply these categories after the posts are already made. When creating all my posts, I would know to create and apply a tag or category to them right when I'm editing the actual post. And then I would just quickly apply it as I'm creating that post. So there really wouldn't be all this additional work of adding categories after the fact. Okay, so now I have my 5 blog posts that I want to be members only, each with that paid post category applied to them. So since I use the category that I applied to all my posts to protect all of them, all I need to do is just create one rule for them. So I'll go back to MemberPress and Rules and add new, and then I'll select Posts Categorized from the dropdown. And then here I'll begin typing my category, Paid Post, and it shows up here, and then you just click to select it. And then I'll select my basic membership right here, just like that, and also add my Pro membership. So my 2 paid memberships on my website. So what this rule is saying is that only people with my basic or my Pro membership will be able to get access to all my posts with this category applied to them. Also down here, I'll customize the unauthorized message for this rule. So this will override the site-wide unauthorized message that's set up in the MemberPress settings. But I just want to customize it a bit to fit my posts in particular. So I'm going to enter a custom paywall message, and this will say, hey, you need a basic or Pro membership to see this post. Sign up now to read it. And I could just link up this sign up now text to my group pricing page. Okay, so now once I have my rule set up, I'll click here to save it. And then once it's saved, now all my paid posts are protected. And if I go back to Post here in the left sidebar, you can see here they're restricted to only basic and Pro memberships. And again, as I add more blog posts in the future, all I'd have to do is add that category to them, and they'll be protected automatically with my existing rule. So the real time-saving power of using tags and categories is in its future-proofing ability. So as a basic example, as I scale up my site or my business, and I want to offer more paid blog posts in the future, again, I can simply just add that same category to all my future posts, and they'll automatically be protected with my rule. So all I would do is just create a new post, for example, like this, write out my blog post, and then just add that same category to it, just like that, and then publish a blog post. And then once the post's saved, if I go back to my posts, you can see that the new post is automatically protected with my existing rule. So that's a really powerful component to protecting with tags and categories. Also, if I go to Rules in MemberPress and click to edit that rule that I made, if I scale my business up and say want to offer more membership tiers, I can simply add those additional memberships here in the rules. And those new memberships will be able to view all those paid posts too. So as you plan out your MemberPress membership website, consider adding tags and categories to your content as you build your site and protecting them that way. Okay, so here at the end of the video, just to demo this real quick, I'm going to open my site up in a new incognito window, so it's like I'm a brand new site visitor. So an incognito window is a really useful way to test your website out, since it lets you view your site as someone seeing your site for the very first time, so totally logged out of your admin account in WordPress. So now I'll go to my blog, and I see all my posts, and then I'll try to click one of those paid posts, and you can see the site visitor can't see it, and they get that custom message that I set up in the rule. Click here to sign up. So maybe they really want to read the post. All they have to do is click here to sign up, and then they get to my pricing page selling them on the membership. So now as this test user, I'll click to buy, say, my Pro membership, and then fill out my registration form as a new test customer with some fake testing data and some test payment information. Then I'll sign up, and it'll take a moment to process. And you see the sign up went through. So now this new customer has an account on my website, and they have an active subscription to my Pro membership. So now, logged in as this new customer, I'll go back to my blog, and then try to view that paid post again, and you can see that they can see it now. And then I'll log out as this new customer, which you can see here. And then, being logged out, I'll go back to my blog, try to view the post again, and they see my paywall. So my rule's working just fine to protect my paid blog posts. Okay, so real quick here, going back to WordPress, I just want to mention some other content that you can protect with categories and tags too. Now, this isn't a full list, but I just want to show you some other common content people protect using tags and categories. A big one is MemberPress courses and course content. So when you're creating or editing a course, I'll go to my courses and click the edit one. You can apply course-specific tags and categories here and protect them in the same way. So if I go back to rules and create a new rule, here you see some rule types for courses with course categories and tags, and you see some other types for curriculum categories. So here, lessons, assignments, quizzes. So going back to my course, and you see the curriculum here. If you open up a lesson, quiz, or assignment, like this, here on the right, you can add and create curriculum categories and tags too. So you really have full flexibility to target groups of whole courses, lessons, quizzes, and assignments, and content protect them in any way that you want. Also, if you're using the MemberPress Downloads add-on to upload and protect files, you can apply tags and categories to files too. So I'll go to MP Downloads here in the left sidebar, and I have some files already on my website, and you see some categories and tags added to my files too. And then going back to create a rule now, you also see some rule types for files with file category and tags. And I'm not going to get too in the weeds with these, but up here at the top, you see all kinds of rule types for all content with certain categories and tags too. Using tags and categories in MemberPress gives you a ton of flexibility when it comes to protecting your content. What's great about this method is that you can group things together and keep your content protection streamlined, with as few rules as possible. That way, things stay as simple as they can on the back end of your website as your business grows. Plus, it's a solid way to future-proof your setup. As you keep adding new content, you can just add existing tags and categories to them, and those pieces of content will automatically be protected with rules that you already have set up. So hopefully this gave you some good ideas on how you can set up your content protection using MemberPress Rules. See our support docs pages on rules for a lot more information, and be sure to follow our blog and YouTube channel for all of our latest tips and tricks on all things MemberPress. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
If you liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos that makes getting MemberPress up and running a breeze.